What up? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the ACS Universe Daily. Joined as usual by the homie Nerd Coast and Notion. What's good, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, doing all right. Doing all right, man. A couple things to get to right before we get started today. We're gonna look at a couple trailers. There's a lot of trailers. Obviously, y'all hadn't seen me since last Monday, or Sean right here. So, like, yo, there's a couple things that dropped last week. We'll get to take a look at Sinners trailer. The movie looks incredible. Mm-hmm. The Last of Us Season 2 put out a little teaser that I'm hyped about. I mean, we'll take a look at that and sort of break it down just a little bit. And what do you say? SA notes. Here it is, man. William, what's good? What's good? Ruthie, what up? What up? What up? Good to see y'all in the chat as always. What's that? Yeah. The Rings of Power. Talk about the Rings of Power. That the season is close to wrapping up. The Penguin. New episode. We're gonna talk some spoilers about the Penguin last night because the show just gets better and better. In my personal opinion, I think some of the decisions they've made in making this show have sort of ensured that we should be tied to that thing to the end. Hey, relax, Will. Hey, man. Hey. I did get over it relatively fast though, so I will say that. He's talking about Alabama beat Georgia the other night in college football. That's why he's giving me shit for it. But I did get over it a lot faster than I've gotten over any loss football wise as of yet. So there's that. Game was crazy. Anyway, we'll talk about a couple things like that, and whatever else just happens to pop up, we're gonna take a look at the box office and things of that nature. So let me get a couple things started. And we'll roll right into it, man. So how you been, man? You last week? Of course, I tell y'all, last Friday's we supposed to got a hurricane came through here. Didn't do much where I live at, but a lot of other places got hammered by it or whatever. So that's why I didn't plan on doing a show Friday, because we had this thing coming through, and I wasn't sure how bad it was. They shut everything down. They shut my job down, schools, everything. They were just like, yo, everything's closed. Thursday night as they expected the weather to get insane, and it didn't really get insane. Not where I'm at, but there's a lot of places that, again, sorry, got it. Yeah, hey, man, double the L's this weekend for you, boy, man. Hey, got it. She said, "You looking fantastic, man. She ain't seen you in a couple of days, man. Look, the SA Nostra, man. That it was fucking wild, bro. Let me get us some background stuff going. All right, let's get that. All right, let me see what else was I going. Oh yeah. Hey, not exactly 15 tabs. 15 tabs. It's coming though. It's coming.
You're gonna be hurting, man, if they put a limit on the number of tabs you can have open.
Tabs, nah, they ain't never gonna do that. But they did. Which we're still good. StreamYard. Not too long ago, they redid their pricing thing. I'm like, yo, y'all are really trying to pull folks, because they had the two tiers, or the three tiers, basically the free one, $25 a month, and then $49, which most people use the $49 if you stream a lot, because you get your money's worth.
Correct.
Because if you stream once a week the entire month, you get your money back, I think, for paying that much, just for how easier it makes the process or whatever. But then they changed it, and they're like, yo, we're gonna have I think there's still a free tier. Then there's a $40-something tier. Then there's an $80-something tier, and then a $200-something tier. I was like, bro, y'all tripping, man. Y'all about to make me happy. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Same. So they changed it up a bit, but the lower tier still is like, that's basically all you need. There's a lot of extra shit that they put into like the higher tiers when the price starts going up, like green rooms and shit like that. I don't know that anybody's interested in sitting backstage and chatting at the Free Cheers Lane. Get that duck. Yeah, you talking about that little duck on the Hey man, that's what you get. You got to make your own, man. See, check it out. This is what I started doing to sort of get around that. So I use like overlays, man. I just take it off, date, and everything goes off, put it back on. That way. It's just simple, man. That's the best way I've learned how to do it, and that way, you keep something. I mean, it does mess you up if something changes while you're streaming. It's kind of hard to use that same thing because you got to sort of move it around or whatever. But start every show with stuff I saw today. Let's get it.
What the hell is that?
That would be the box office, bro. So, Wild Robot, not surprising. Never read the books, but people who have read the books were excited about this movie. Apparently, the movie's like really great. Hopefully, I get a chance to sort of see. I doubt I see it in theaters because I'm not a fan of the source material that much. But hopefully, I get a chance. It might be on some Iron Giant type fireness. You know what I'm saying? So, it comes in at number 1. At number 2, not surprising, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is still having people open their wallets up and sort of take seats and watch. Transformers 1 comes in 3rd place this week, drops a spot.
Man, look at that drop. One week drop. Man, that hurts, man. That hurts.
It does. It's. We talked about it last week when it comes to this. It's kind of hard to sort of an animated Transformers movie in theaters. It's hard for people because most people probably just say, well, it'll be on streaming next month, so I'll just wait for something like that, especially because it's barely an hour and a half long, and it's sort of, you know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing where if you're talking about taking, a husband, wife, 3 kids, that's a lot of money to watch just a movie that's not even an hour and a half, man.
Yeah.
The Free Cheers link it. Oh yeah, wasn't William's birthday this past weekend, man? Happy birthday, man! Wasn't his birthday this past weekend?
I think it was weekend before.
Weekend before, okay.
He had. I think if I remember, I think he was mentioning he had some event this past weekend that he was.
Yeah, they were showing some movies, man. They was trying to get some screeners out there. Say William, just are you at the store? Devar, I don't know what Devar Part 1 is. Speak No Evil. This movie right here. My Old Ass. I don't know if you ever heard of it. The Mistress and Her Kids, bro. What you talking about, Mistress? What you got over there, William? This movie right here called My Old Ass. It's I can't remember the young actress's name, but it has I just lost it. She's also in Agatha. Really attractive, tall, funny actress.
Maisie Stella or Aubrey Plaza?
Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza plays. So that the other actress you mentioned plays a younger version, and Aubrey Plaza, for some reason, goes back in time and sort of meets her younger self. And that's a movie called Look at the Plus right here. Once like people kind of saw it's supposed to be insanely funny and like a really entertaining film.
Yeah.
So I can see with this little jump right here, because it jumped from it was at 19 last week, so that's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Never Let Go at number 9. At 10, The Substance. I do want to see The Substance. Yeah, man, it's dropped too, man.
I heard The Substance is the latter part of that film, like last 30 to 45 minutes, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've heard, especially if you're a horror. Even if you're a horror person, it can still be pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, really? So even if you're ready for whatever it shows you might be like, oh.
Even if you're ready for it, it could be kind of like, oh man.
Oh, I mean, I did obviously there was the one scene that sort of you see mostly is her in the bathroom sort of ripping everything off of her face or whatever. Need to watch it. Yeah, no, it does look at. What is Hal's movie? I don't know what it is. But anyway, Substance. The movie Am I Racist? Vindicating Trump. The Fords Lead. It Ends With Us. All these movies round out the top 20. Alien Rama is still fighting out there. Still getting some money. Still getting some money, man. Reagan. Despicable Me 4 still getting. Yeah, dude. Reagan.
How is Twister still getting money? How is that even possible? What? Right there. There you go. 228,000. How is that even possible?
Right. People are just literally. If you're either you live somewhere where there's no cable and there's no internet where you can stream this movie and have an entire family of 8 watch it for the same price that you pay for one ticket, but this movie's still making money, still pulling money. Yo, Whiplash 10th anniversary
still bringing in something.
Yeah, I like.
Look at that drop though. I mean, granted, it's a 10-year anniversary. I get that, so not a lot of people are going to be going to see it.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's still bringing in money. But that's still a big hit.
Yeah, it is. Killer's Game. That's almost 100% less than it made last week. This rounds it out the front room in the summer. Sing. So, yeah, man, the season's getting close.
I am surprised to see Beetlejuice still. Was it number one? I mean, now
it was number one last week. Yeah,
but I'm still surprised even after a month that it's still bringing in that kind of money. Usually,
I think the younger, my son, which my son's about 20. He's 27, but he sort of he watched Beetlejuice, the first one. He hadn't seen it, but yes, failure as a father. He hadn't seen it yet. But he's seen it recently, and then the second one he's seen it a couple times. Like, he really likes it. So I maybe that younger generation, maybe it's catching him like how it caught us when when we were younger, because he really. Like, that's something that I thought he would enjoy, but I didn't think he would like it enough to see it more than once. You know what I'm saying? So,
it seems like the sequel is bringing. I mean, to your point, the sequel is bringing in a new generation to the original, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of expose them to that film that we grew up with. So,
and it's cool. So, seeing it, it's good that it's there. I do remember Burton saying something along the lines of sort of he would finish a trilogy or do something like that if the situation was good for it, because he remember he wasn't going to come back and do this one either. They were about to put that shit on streaming, and he was like, "Oh no." And
then they cut the budget on, and we talked about that. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they cut the budget almost in half. So he just said, "Okay, I can make it for that," and he did, and it's great. So
if he does a third one, I can't imagine they wouldn't. I mean, they're not going to just inflate the budget, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say, "Okay, that's the money you want. Okay, based on what happened with the second one, we'll give you what you're asking for."
Yeah.
I mean, assuming the story is right, you got some of the people who are returning back for the which I mean, we can probably safely say will probably be the third and final film, at least for this cast of characters. Now, whether or not in the future, like we typically would see, they might do some sort of spin-off or some sort of revamp where, remember when Lydia's your grandmother and she's dead now, right? I mean, something like that, which I wouldn't want to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it.
Yeah. No, and also because the mom is dead too, so so she'll be. I'm sure she'll be back. They all look like they had so much fun returning to that world that I don't see a problem with unless there's some scheduling things of that nature or whatever for the cast to come back. If there's a third one, if there is, and they did leave it sort of open for that possibility. You talk about what is it? William, I know you're excited. Like, William don't like the Terrifiers. Does he think it's a little bit over the top? All right, let's move on, man. There's Spartacus. Me and you have mentioned the show before on here. That's one of my favorite shows. That Spartacus, the House of Asher. Fuck Asher. That was one of the characters I hated the most in the original Spartacus. So then I'm like, why does this fool? But everybody else is gone, I guess. I don't even know, like, what era is this coming in?
Was literally going to be my question to start this conversation off with is, where are we talking about this is landing? Is this after the events of all of Spartacus, which I can't imagine it is? I mean, because we got season one, Andy got, and everyone knows Andy was sick.
Yeah.
So they stopped doing the show, and they did a prequel season, and then when they came back, unfortunately, Andy had passed, and then they continued the season. I mean, the show for 2 seasons. So
2 more seasons.
Unless they do something like that second, where they do some sort of prequel, or maybe how Asher came to be enslaved, so to speak, to where we see the events of the original season, right? Yeah. So I mean, we haven't seen anything. I mean, we see casting. I hated that character as well. I can't believe the guy made it as far as he did. He was as grimy as anything.
And then so he played Captain Boomerang on the Flash TV show a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see when we start seeing those teaser trailers, right? Or those. I mean, I'm sure what we'll see first is set pictures, kind of like characters will look like, which I imagine is going to look very similar to what we saw from Spartacus. But obviously, when we see that first teaser trailer and that first official trailer, will be interesting because the expectation. I mean, Spartacus was was a great show. Many people weren't expecting to be great, right?
Yeah, it was good. I loved it, man.
I did too. Even though they had to recast Sparta's character, I still think it was still a really good show. So
no, it was, and it sucked, but I think the fact that everyone else that was involved sort of was still there, and they carried it. And look, what was his name? Ian something, the new actor who played Sparta. He did a great job. I mean, he was asked to do the impossible. Nobody was going to do it as good as Andy was. So he did the best that he could, sort of with the material he was given, knowing that the character, that one season that he got to play Spartacus, the character was beloved by just tons of everybody who watched the show. So, it wasn't this. That's just the girl who thought who got secretly clapped up by Spartacus. What was it? I can't remember, man. I know there was a couple of y'all need to watch Spartacus, man. There's so much low down, dirty shit. Jai Courtney was on Spartacus. I had forgot his character. He played on Spartacus, that blonde head dude that sort of.
Well, that's Captain Boomerang.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, no one expected him to get taken out as early as he did, but
yeah. Hey, man, Spartacus is what it is, man. Hey, there was a lot of that in there, and there was a lot of battle, a lot of when he brought the rain that first time. Woo, that shit is dope. When in the arena, when he killed what's his name, and it started raining, everybody's like, "Yo, Spartacus the slave that brought the rain back." That shit was dope, man. So yeah, these aren't the only ones. I think I've seen some more pages with a lot more casting. So there's a lot of people that are going to show up in this show. So we'll see how good it is. And again, like I said, tell me what era, because nobody likes Asher. He was a fucking punk bitch.
Yep.
And and remember he had that limp because he had gotten hurt in the arena, and they showed what happened to him, and he was trash. Yeah, he was a fucking grimy ass dude, man. So. Anyway, I want to bring that up because I am a Spartacus fan. I know we had talked about it before, and we're both looking forward to this. Just give us some more details. Give us some more. X-Men 97, Ross Marquand says that season 2 should be much darker than season 1. Surprise, not me. I figured the first season was dark enough. I knew they weren't going to lighten up no time soon. So, especially considering how the first season ended. So this is welcome news. Let me see some darkness. Let me see some. It says darker. Episode 5 was nah, man. They're gonna take it. They're gonna take it some places probably. With this next season.
Well, and how season 1 ended, I would expect it's gonna be darker. I wouldn't expect this is gonna be rainbows and unicorns. I want to see something darker. Let's take it up a notch, right? Especially how it ended. I mean, the team was split between 2 vastly different time periods.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we got a glimpse into some of the additional characters / villains, especially one of them being like early on in their story. So
yes,
to become a major villain. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
He said X-Men 97 song. Oh man, so yeah, this is not some surprising stuff. Real quick, highest grossing film franchises. I ran across this the other day. Let's take a look, man. Obviously, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in the top spot. Number 2 got Spider-Man. I'm guessing this is all iterations of Spider-Man, not just.
That's what I was getting ready to ask as well. Yeah,
I think it has to be, because look, when it comes to the Harry Potter stuff, they just call it the Wizarding World, and they just combine the original Potter movies with the recent ones that came out within the past decade or whatever. 007. X-Men up there, you know what I'm saying? 007, that old money, man. That
yeah, if you'd adjust that money for 2024 money, I think that might be just a bit higher.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, and because I don't think there's a Bond movie that grossed $1 billion yet, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that last one with Daniel Craig might have. Maybe it did, but I don't know if there's a Bond movie that's ever hit $1 billion like box office wise. Maybe Casino Royale, but I again, man. Check it out while we go to X-Men. See Fast and the Furious, not surprised. DC Extended Universe, not surprising. Batman in and of itself is wait a minute. So names of
so no one did. Skyfall did.
Skyfall hit $1 billion.
1.1 billion.
Okay. So Skyfall.
Spectre was close, 880 million, and then No Time to Die was so Spectre was in 2015. That one.
Yeah.
So looking at the biggest ones, those three. So Skyfall is the biggest from 2012 with 1.1 billion. Spectra 2015 had 880 million, and then No Time to Die, which was I think the most recent one from 2021.
Yes, that's the last one.
Yeah, 771 million.
Oh, okay.
So the three that Daniel Craig's done, what, 5? 5, yeah. So of the 5, 3 of them, one did, and 2 got really close. Yeah, really close. But all the other ones though, like the further back you go in time, like if you think about like Dr. No, for 1962, it brought in 59 million, but the budget itself was 1.1 million. And it's funny, it's the site I found. If you adjust that, so let's just look at Dr. No, for example. At the time, 59.5 million is what it brought in on a $1.1 million budget. Now, if you adjust that for like today, that would be 448 million bringing in on a budget of 7 million.
Oh, okay.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's still insane. That's insane. Yeah. Because I remember my mom's told me one time, she said when Bond movies would come out, they were events, like literal big time situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? The same way any new whatever movie comes out today that's part of a franchise, like an Avatar movie, probably, I guess you could say, sort of an event type deal. Because I knew one had gotten close, but I didn't think one had passed it. But I did know that like sort of all of the latter movies, the Daniel Craig ones, it started with like Casino Royale, and then
Casino Royale got to 606 million. Then Quantum of Solace was the lowest one at 586.
Yeah. Out of the Craig one,
is what really just skyrocketed.
Yeah. No, that's it. Javier brought him. That Skyfall is dope. No, I think Quantum of Solace is the out of the Daniel Craig ones, it's the one that's like the least. I love all of Daniel Craig's James Bond movies, even that one a lot. So, but I figured that one would be the one that got the lowest amount of box office pulling that in. So at number 10, Jurassic Park. Not surprising, they got a lot of movies in there. There's Lord of the Rings, the Middle Earth stuff, 5.96 bill. Despicable Me, Avatar right there, Transformers at 13, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mission Impossible franchise, the Twilight Saga 3.36, and then the Shrek 4.02 billion. So not surprised. I mean, some of this stuff is.
Looking at this though, I can see Avatar, Mission Impossible, Jurassic Park, maybe, and maybe Fast and Furious, maybe moving up a bit in this list, just because we still have one more, at least one more Fast and Furious movie, at least one more we know of.
At least,
it seems like every single one's supposed to be the last one, and then we find out it's not. And Avatar still has 2 or 3 more sequels to do.
Man, I think 4, if I'm being honest.
At least. And then Mission Impossible. I mean, that seems to be. I mean, as long as Tom Cruise can keep pushing himself to do stunts even more dangerous, he's gonna keep pumping those movies out. And Twilight, I had heard that they are going to be rebooting the Twilight series, but now telling the story from Edward's perspective, not Bella.
Okay. Wow,
so that could be interesting.
Quantum of Solace, the first. Yeah, man, I remember it was dope as hell because that shit, the way it ended, and then it starts with if you can watch them back to back, man. I do quite often whenever I'm feeling that Bond tingle, that little Bond itch. I'm like, yo, let me watch a couple of these, because I will admit the fighting style that they established in Casino Royale with that sort of blunt instrument type of fighting, love it. The throwing your body through windows and all of that kind of shit is incredible, man. So I like that they brought that to the franchise, because who did it before him? Pierce Brosnan, right? 2 totally different Bonds. Pierce Brosnan was smooth as hell.
Yes,
Daniel Craig
Pierce
wasn't
Brosnan,
as smooth as Pierce Brosnan was, but he was I like Daniel Craig, man. That's my favorite Bond, man. It's my favorite.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I grew up with Roger Moore, them dope ass Bonds. Like, I grew up watching all of those, man. And like, I think when it got to I think what it was the initial thing with the fighting style is the one that really wrapped me into sort of Daniel Craig's interpretation of Bond, and like sort of what direction they were going to go with like the action and things of that nature. Because I mean, it's not every day you see James Bond sitting in a chair and the homie has that little whip.
Yep.
Woo! Hitting it up under the
that'll make you pucker up a little bit. That'll get you to I'll get your attention real fast.
I'll never forget that. That's one of the best torture scenes I've ever seen in my like just because it's simple and it's just like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's an insane torture scene. Insane. If you hadn't seen this.
Yeah, see, for me, I always gravitate to the classic, Sean Connery, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the modern, but I do like the classics, of Sean Connery. So
hey, Sean Connery, they all like sort of. I hadn't watched a Bond movie where I felt like the movie wasn't good to me personally. Period. That's seeing all of them from you know what I'm saying.
There is. He only played it once. What was his name? He only played Bond one time. Was it George Lansbury, something like that. He only played Bond one time, and like I think it was on Her Majesty's
Secret Service.
Yeah. It was like a one and done. I mean, it was more like a filler, right?
Yeah, I feel, but I still enjoyed it. Those, they always spent a lot of money and sort of made the movies look good. But yeah, that's probably that would probably be along the lines of the weakest one if I'm looking at them to rank them. That'd be a rank. Trying to rank that shit.
But I mean, we know Marvel isn't going to move up. I mean, Marvel will probably stay at the top of that list unless Avatar knocks it off. I think Marvel is there. So
yeah. Well, I mean, Oh, as far as when you're looking at in a totality. The total of all of it.
Correct.
Yes, that's because we all know they got bumped out of the top spot once before, and then they re-released Endgame to try to get them extra dollars.
Yep.
You son of a bitches. They literally re-released it. All right. So everyone has so Gladiator 2 role cards are sort of like character cards. I think these are pretty dope. Lucius, that's who Paul Mescal is. Exiled son of Rome, returns to fight for justice and the people. Pedro Pascal is Acacius, a highly decorated Roman general and conquering hero. Let's see, they got I should have just blew it. Denzel Washington is Macrinus, prosperous mastermind who uses his gladiators to wield power in Rome. Let's see, Connie Nielsen is Lucilla, mother to Lucius and beloved by the Roman people. She's still looking just like she did
just like she did in the original.
Yeah, and she looks just like she did Hippolyta when she's in Wonder Woman, dude. Like, that's not aging. Let's see. Joseph Quinn is Emperor Gaeta. Diabolical and ruthless, he rules Rome along with his fraternal twin. Oh, that must be that other dude.
The next card.
Fred Hechinger is Emperor Caracalla. Sadistic, unhinged, twin brother to Emperor Gaeta. Okay, yeah. So these dudes are going to be look like they're going to probably both get their heads sliced the fuck off in that movie at some point in time.
That would be ideal. That'd be the ideal ending.
Dude, this is fucking fire. I saw this like just a while ago, and I was like, how is this the first time I saw this? This is the particular thing right here.
That's gonna sell.
Dude, that popcorn bucket is fucking dope.
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the best one that since they started doing this whole popcorn bucket craze. That's probably the best one.
Wait. You see this one? Whoa, now that's a nice popcorn bucket, dude.
That's something you don't even put popcorn in.
No. What do we? He said, "Is that Ed Sheeran?" Relax, Droga. You know that's not Ed Sheeran. He talking about one of the twins. That is incredible. Wow, I haven't seen this one yet.
They're definitely. I think what they've done here. What the popcorn bucket craze now reminds me of, if these are real, even if these are not real. Just the ones that we have seen that we know are real. I mean, you have some of them. I think you have the Batman one, the Ghostbusters. I think, you have I don't know if you have any others, but I don't know those are two that you definitely have.
I have. I got Joey had hooked me up with a.
Did you get the Deadpool and Wolverine one?
No. I didn't get none of those. Yeah, but he hooked me up with I have an Indiana Jones one. It's just like a gold. It looks like a gold relic, but it's a popcorn bucket. But that one, the Ghostbusters, and I have the Batman. So
what this reminds me of is when the whole Steelbook craze started. When Steelbooks first came out, and they were very, very limited, limited. And because I remember when Iron Man came out, it was one of the very first Steelbooks that FS Shop out of Canada came out with, and it was so hard to find. I mean, that thing would sell for anywhere between on the secondhand market would sell anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000.
Oh shit!
For a sealed copy, right? Not a graded copy. Just literally take it off the shelf. You held on to it. It was so limited. It feels like that's what's happening here with these popcorn buckets. Because I think with the Batman one, like the spotlight one. or
the one that came out
was very limited.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, when the Batman re-released in theaters for like a week, just a few weeks ago. That's what. Yeah. And
it was my understanding was from what I saw, it's a functioning, like it lights up and everything. So it's a functioning popcorn bucket, right? Mm-hmm. It almost feels like what they did early on is started to test this market of, let's see if people will buy these popcorn buckets, and if these are real, they're just down taking it to a whole nother level. Because I mean, come on, look at that. Even if that's even being 100% plastic, if you didn't know that and you didn't know it was a popcorn bucket, it's sitting on your shelf like for your movie stuff, you wouldn't think, is that plastic, or what is that made of, right? That's pretty dope if it's real. I am even if it's a joke, said they look AI, even if they're just putting designs out there to see how the people's response from it. This one, I mean, let me like a retweet to let them know they need to put that one. Because even if this is AI, and to your point, if there's a demand enough for it, you never know. They may say, hey, look at the response we're getting on this. How much would it take to produce X quantity of it? Put them out there and sell. Because then they think they did that the Batman one. They put it out there. It sold out like crazy, and then they said we're now going to produce more, and then they eventually start taking pre-orders for it. So,
yeah. No, it is. What up, Aaron? What's good? Yes, the popcorn bucket is incredible. As much as I like that one, the second one looks like somebody carved that shit out of stuff. Like it looks really good. This one looks great too, as well. This is that's incredible. I don't know.
I mean, I think if the AMC logo wasn't on this one, I would. If I had to choose between two, I think I would definitely go with this one.
Yeah, and see, that's even if this one is AI, honestly, because if you think about it, normally they don't
look
do that.
AI though, because if you look at the table on the back part of the helmet, like this helmet, the shadow on the table, so that's shadow for the. It's right there on the table in the back too. So if this is AI, someone made sure that they covered, some of those specific details to keep it from thinking.
I don't think maybe it's like a mock-up, because normally, excuse me, they don't. AMC never puts their logo on their popcorn buckets like that. Because the Ghostbusters one is an AMC, and it doesn't say AMC. Like at the bottom, probably somewhere a little,
but not like that.
Yes, no.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they normally don't do that with the popcorn buckets they put out there. It's normally just, it'd be somewhere sort of in disguise. But whatever the case may be, these popcorn buckets are fire, absolutely incredible. And that's dope. Let's move on. Something else that happened this past week, Batman got a star in the Hall of Fame, first superhero to get it. By the way, you see where Marvel and DC lost the term superhero is no longer one that they can use as a what did they say? You can't trademark the word superhero anymore. Now it's such a general term that Congress has said it can't be used for both of those separate entities to sort of use it as their comic book stuff and try to coin the term superhero, because it's a free term now, which is crazy. But this happened last week. Make sure Batman got a star. Take a look at that. I thought that was cool. First superhero. I mean, it's literally first comic book out here getting a star, right?
What's funny is when this was announced that this was happening, I think a lot of people got confused, because I think a lot of people assumed it was an actor. Playing Batman, or a voice actor that had done Batman, and so maybe people were like, "Well, wait a minute, some of those actors already have a star. Why are they getting?" So I think a lot of people were, to your point, this is specifically for the character Batman.
And you can look back there. I think that looks like Robert Pattinson's
Batmobile. Yeah, it is.
There's another pictures of this went around last week that had like sort of a bunch of voice actors for Batman taking a picture with the star, which was dope. Troy Baker and people like that, which was cool. I like that they got Jim Lee right there. Obviously, that's if they could have had everybody there, I'm sure they would have. I'm sure that the one person that was really, really missing was Kevin Conroy, because he's no longer with us, and that would have been the person that you would have loved to have seen standing right next to Jim Lee as they lifted the star off. It's crazy because none of the other live action ones, and I got some people probably didn't want to come back. I know Keaton was just there for
paycheck.
Well, Keaton was just there doing this like a week ago with Tim Burton doing his star. So maybe he didn't want to come out of. I'm sure Ben Affleck was like, "Nah, I'm good." Like, a lot of the live action actors were probably thinking to themselves, "I'm good, bro. I'm good."
And
Especially.
Ben's going through some stuff right now, so
yeah. But in the other ones, if they already have a star, they probably said, "Yeah, we're good." Sorry, but a good showing. Good to see that happen. Maybe one day, who knows who's the next one? We'll probably see.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Who do you think is going to be the next one? I mean, many people thought the first one would have been Superman.
Yeah, well, yeah, because of for obvious reasons. But I get it though. Batman is it's the most popular. He is by leagues. When you're talking about most, I think I don't even think Superman will be second, bro. I think it's either going to be Wonder Woman or Spider-Man will get it if they you know what I'm saying, as far as superheroes are concerned, because if popularity wise, while Superman might be my favorite, Superman is like third or fourth on people's list when it comes to most. They like Batman, Spider-Man is way up there. Maybe some people have Wolverine, some X-Men characters or whatever. But for the most part, Wonder Woman, you know what I'm saying? Like those characters, so some of those do sort of out popular Superman on certain things. So I don't see Superman being the next superhero to get one of these. If anything, either Wonder Woman or Spider-Man. I
can see Spider-Man, especially for Marvel. If Marvel's first, because to your point, I think Spider-Man just for the one, it's about the fact of the popularity and how long the character's been around. So yeah.
That's never happening, by the way, Droga. The Deep. I always remember the Deep when Homelander mentions him and he turns around and he's like, oh, when he brings him in on that one episode of it. Yeah, the Deep's never getting a star, bro. But yeah, it's good to see it, man. Good to see it. You always like to see when some of your favorite like nerdy shit sort of makes its way into like regular pop culture. Yeah. On this kind of level, you're like, yo, that's my dude right there. So good to see it, man. Good to see it. Hey, let's take a look, bro. Let's go. Some more stuff came out this week. Obviously, a couple trailers came out. Sinners, Ballerina. We're gonna take a look at both of those right now, just to pop down. All right, let's So you've seen the Ballerina trailer, right?
I absolutely have a couple times. Actually,
it's fucking it's incredible. So from the world of John Wick, Ana de Armas.
Definitely, it was definitely better than I expected it was going to be. It was definitely better because I wasn't sure how to approach this when we found out, because it went from being a TV series to a movie after what happened with the Continental. So I was very hesitant because the Continental wasn't that great. No. So I was very hesitant with, okay, now we're getting another spinoff. They now changed it up. It's going to be a movie now. But yeah, I'm not disappointed by any stretch of the means when I saw this trailer.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And I think it did because, Continental comes out and then people were like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? So now this one's still coming and it's like, they didn't cancel this or anything. They kept, so like, oh, is it going to be a step down from John Wick like the Continental was? We're going to step it up. This shit look good. So I'm going to bring this up here. All right, let's get it. You hear that?
Do you like your dogs? I know a school where they teach dances.
Yeah, McShane.
I could take you there if you'd like.
To stop the assassin, you must become the assassin. You will always be weaker. You will always be smaller. You want to win? Improvise. Adapt. Cheat.
Welcome to the Continental.
Hey.
Eve Macaro of the Ruscaroma. What a pleasure to see you again.
It looks great, man.
Yeah, it does.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
Hey.
They killed my father.
Yo, the skate is crazy.
They're dead.
Fate.
Oh yeah, even that too.
This is insane right here.
Wow, that's pretty dope right there.
Yeah, it's incredible. I like this shit.
You're him. The one they call the Baba Yaga. How do I start doing what you do?
Yeah. Looks like you already have.
So if that's John Wick getting off that train, that's just an epic entrance to a movie that's not even his, right? And even if he's not in this, but more than just that one scene, coming there, having that brief conversation with her, it's still just an epic entrance for the character to kind of tie the franchise together. But yeah, this looks great. I'm glad to see that we get to see Lance one more time. Right, in the franchise, because my understanding is this was his last go, his last film he had done, or any filming he had done projects wise before he had passed. So even I'm sure his part will be small in this, but I am glad to see that he is part of this, not in that John Wick 4 wasn't his last go. So and what's funny is because he dies in John Wick 4, so we know this has to happen maybe somewhere between 3 and 4, or during the events of part 4, maybe towards the very, very beginning before we even started.
I think the time period is between 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. That will make sense. The only problem I have with this entire exciting fire ass trailer is that they showed. I would say to save John Wick. Don't let me see him till we see the. You know what I mean? The movie just saved him a little bit. Yeah, I see why they showed him, but at the same time, to me, he didn't. It wasn't even necessary, bro. They could have showed the one shot of him when he's like walking down the stairs and they're kind of looking. But the conversation piece, they could have saved it. But other than that, man, I mean, come on, dude. Skate,
or when she puts the grenade in his mouth and then shuts
the door behind him, like right here.
This isn't done until they're dead.
That's dope.
So based on what we're seeing here, I mean, I'm all in. Definitely gonna see it. I do hope this is a success. I do hope if it is that we do see kind of like a John Wick type thing. I'm not saying we have to go 5 films deep, but I would like to see a couple more films come out of this if this one turns out to be as good as the trailer shows it to be. But I am also interested to see what role Norman's playing.
Norman Reedus, man, that was surprising.
That surprised me when I saw him pop up.
Yeah, I think I'd heard something about him like being in it, but you know, obviously you're not going to get the extent of his character or anything like that. So no, he showed up, and it looks. Look, she looks like. Look. Obviously, Ana de Armas is an attractive woman, but she looks lethal in this. Yes. Like literally, they slicked her hair back like John Wick, gave her the same sort of persona. Dope, man. I love everything about the aesthetic of everything I've seen here. The kills look just as gruesome as you just gotta have from a John Wick movie. Let's go. Day one.
Especially when she's got like that, either that knife or that pick. And it just kept jabbing the guy up underneath his arm into his rib cage. I mean, that was definitely very reminiscent of a John Wick type kill.
And look, man, the water.
Oh, and the song. I mean, the song that they chose for this trailer. How they altered it from the Elton John song. I mean, that's
look how great she looks. Perfect. Literally like John Wick. Like she looks like an assassin right there. Like serious tone. Fucking, you could tell she's been through some shit. Dude, fucking fire, man.
Yeah, because she's got some like cuts on the one side of her face. It's like she's already been into something. Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to this. This is, as soon as I watched it, all it took was just watching it. And the first time I watched it, you know, actually, honestly, I didn't even have the sound on. I was watching it on my phone and couldn't like turn the music up. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like just for watching it. And then once I finally got to see it with the sound, it was great. No, I am 1000% looking forward to Ballerina. The water versus fire is just dope, man.
Oh yeah, that was. And that's one thing. That's one thing you can say about the John Wick films. As each sequel came out, they definitely tried to amp up, whether it's the gun battles, the fight scenes. It didn't just feel like the same repetitive one. They always tried to change it up or bring something new to it, especially in part 4 when they had that aerial view of each room as he's
in the house. Yes. They what they did with that franchise is just like you said, everything was fresh. Every time a new movie came, even the cojones on these cats, man. Stahelski, the directors, they were like, yo, we're going to kick John Wick down a set of stairs. We're going to watch him roll down fucking 140 steps, and you're going to watch it, and it's going to be incredible. And I literally watched that scene and thought, they really doing this. This is fire. Like, it's just good. Everything, I can't think of a misstep in the entire franchise. And
even as simple as this,
except
scene
for
looks,
except for Continental,
kind of
a little bit lower level, but yeah.
Stuff. But even like this scene right here, while this might be like, oh come on guys, it's just fire, it's just she's using a hoe. It's not the fact of it's fire and water. It's the fact that someone thought of this idea. This guy's using a flamethrower trying to kill her.
Yeah,
and this was her way of stopping. And just how this is filmed, I think that's creative in itself. So
yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's like, yo, let's hey, how many more new exciting sort of ways could we kill people? Yeah. And to again, thus far they've been incredible with it. So yeah, man, John, let's go, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
got a little bit to wait for that one, but
yeah, next year.
Let's see, where's that? Something else. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see some more stuff. Batman 2, couple details. The script is finished. Matt Reeves doesn't know if Greg Fraser will return because he might be doing Dune Part 3, which is insane. Greg Fraser is a busy dude. There's a period of time that jumps after the Penguin, with Oz being one of the entry points into the movie. Michael Giacchino promised to return to score the sequel, hoping to gear up at the beginning of next year. We'll start filming maybe mid-year. Will be another murder mystery. And speaking of, man, the Batman, dude, we are 2 episodes into the Penguin series on Max, and I gotta say, man, I am enjoying every second of it thus far. It's been fucking incredible. There's the humor, the slow pace of the show is great. I obviously the acting is really killing it. And again, it's still funny. There's still some funny scenes in this one. We're gonna go a little bit spoilerish with this talking about the second episode. And I'll kind of jump around. Yo, he kind of scared me with the kid there at the end, man. And towards the end of the episode, he's like, lay down with him. I was like, dude, what?
Yeah. This episode, it definitely obviously it's setting the story, but it feels like it's not taking the time to. It's not worrying about taking time to set too much foundation. Right, mm-hmm. We're already seeing things starting, like it's getting ready to jump off at any point. Like at any point, you can see something could happen. I mean, Oz looked like he could have been killed like 3 times in this episode alone.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. Yeah. I did like the fact though, for Sophia Falcone's character,
mm-hmm.
The character Sophia Falcone, we did start to see some glimpses of her past. So, like for example, when in the beginning of the episode, when they're in the car and they're listening to the radio, they mentioned her name, like her serial killer name, right? And mentioned how many people, how many women she'd killed that they know of.
Yeah.
And we see like that flashback where she's the
hangman.
Yeah. They said that they had known she had killed at least 7 women that they know of. And then we see that flashback where she's in Arkham.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's with like her psychiatrist or her doctor, right? For a minute, which the person that they casted for that felt off. Like, come on, we needed Jews from Sons of Anarchy. Come on, I just did not feel like this.
Yeah. And the last time I saw him in anything was in Army of the Dead, man. Remember
when he just was not a convincing. Like, this guy should not be the psychiatrist. Come on,
because I can't remember the actor's name, but he's sort of that. He's that kind of guy. Like, the dude's cool, but like you look, when I saw his face, I was like, he's her psychiatrist. He's about to try to kiss her or something. Like, I just knew it was about to get slimy. You know, talking about that scene where he was like sort of helping her control her breathing. I'm like, it's about to get about to do something fucking gross and shit. But no, I feel, look, this show lives on the edge, bro. Like at any given moment, I'm like, you fucked, man. You're done, brother. How many episodes is season 2? Not 8, because he keeps getting in trouble, dude. And everything is by the skin of his teeth. And the triangle of lies that he's weaving, you got to get caught at some point. He was in the jail. I'm like, there's no way nobody saw him at the jail when he was talking to the other family.
Salvatore Maroni.
Maroni's. Yeah. And I was like, dude, you really out here. So no, it does.
And it wasn't like Salvatore was by himself this time, because in episode 1 he was kind of by himself. Now it's like he had his whole crew there.
Yeah, he
has
had
some other people at the table,
I'm
and Oz walks in like no big deal.
It's a party here.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, you about
and
to get caught.
And then when we see like Sophia kind of having that riff in her family with I think it's her uncle who's leading the family, and then Oz tries to now kind of like backdoor the family he's working for to now say, hey, how about you and I work together? Which, spoiler, they decide to kind of join forces a bit, but that makes me wonder though if this is like a ploy for her to draw him in somehow, and because we know she's fully, I think she fully still believes that he killed Alberto. She's not swayed by whatever lie he's telling on that. So I think that will be the one sin that comes back to Oz in this show at some point, is something will come out, and whether that's Victor that somehow dimes him out, because he's putting a lot of trust into this kid that he just met. I mean,
and
this
kid
he keeps
scaring the shit out of too, man.
Keeps scaring him, but he knows everything that's going on. He's telling him everything. So
and that's why this episode he was like, he dug the graves or whatever, and he was like, lay down with him. I was like, come on, you gonna do him like that, bro? Like it's they're doing a good job. They're doing it very, very. The writing in this show, the dialogue is dope. I like, you get to see these little things, like mom probably has dementia. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Because the dude was like, I had to go find her, walking the streets or whatever. But it does. And I think even though the pacing is kind of slow, I think it's great, honestly, because it sort of builds up these things, because you see Oz get in a situation where like, well, he ain't gonna make it out of that. And he does. Especially second episode before, they're like, yo, we're gonna put him in another situation. I'm like, what? When he and dude, Oz, let me tell you something. When he stabbed that dude, I'm like, what are you wrong with you, fool? Like, how are you going to get out of here knowing you just did that? Like, and then everything got real claustrophobic there for a second. They piled everybody in that room, and they're like, everybody empty your pockets, and they're checking everybody. And I was like, whew, this show, man, I got to take a second to breathe, man. It's moving. It's sort of, you know what I'm saying? It moves very slow, but at the same time, they know how to get they know how to
draw you in, even though though they're still setting foundational things, still setting character stories up. It still feels like you're just waiting what pen is about ready to drop. Right. Like, I mean, Oz can't just keep getting away with what he's doing. Right.
Oh my God. And he put another, he put another, there's already enough targets on his back. And he put another one. He's talking to her, and he gonna lie and say his mom's passed. I was like, why'd you do that? Remember he said that. He said my mom and she died. I said, what the fuck? Dude, she's alive across town. What are you doing, Oz? As soon as she sees her mom still alive, she gonna kill her. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Sophia, because she's fucking, that's and then she dude, Sophia grabbed a handful of green beans. Like this. And I was like, everybody's already looking at her. She's just like, I was like, yo, like, let me give you a reason to think I'm fucking crazy, because that shit was insane right there. That whole entire, and then Oz didn't even make it to the funeral. I was like, dude, you're gonna get killed, bro. They gonna get you, man. What's the interesting thing about this is, obviously the Batman 2 is coming. I just pulled up them details. He's gonna be there. I don't see if he's. What do you think? You think he's going to be in the second one, right? Like, they're building this up so that he is the head of the crime, and
he'll be the head of the. I think he will. I think at some point, because remember we talked about this. I think after episode we talked about this after episode 1, which is again spoiler, not spoiler. The information's out there. Episode 7, which was the one that caught my eye from a title, is called Top Hat. Yeah, and then episode 8, which is the last one, it's called Great or Little Thing. So I'm wondering if somewhere by the time this series ends, because I think it's just a limited series. I don't think they're doing it.
No, they're not anymore.
They're not doing another one after this. So it would make sense that somewhere he somehow gets these two existing families, the Falcones and the Maronis, to either off each other, where he completely just somehow gets away with it all, literally takes over crime in Gotham, and then as we saw briefly on that thing we were sharing, where the Batman 2 kind of is a progression from the Penguin series, where we might see Penguin either in the first quarter or the first half. I mean, he'll definitely be mentioned. I mean, he can't, if he's leading any level of crime in Gotham, he's got to at least be mentioned. But I do think that he will be at least part of it. I don't think he'll be the primary protagonist, but I think he will play a component.
Yeah, I think he will too. So basically that's the other thing about this show that's really good is we know Oz ain't gonna get killed in the show, bro. Like no. He's got to make his way to the second. So, but for a show that you know he's not gonna die, to still be worried about him the way that they build the stakes in this show is incredible, man. Because he
because it makes you wonder it makes you wonder, to your point, he's not going to die, but how does he keep getting out of these situations?
Yeah. And I think he's going, because the first episode when they had the little cord up under his arm.
It almost looked like a piano wire that they were torturing him with.
Yeah. So look, he's so far he's staying just a little bit ahead of everything. At times they catch up to when he has to. And look, when he was talking to the kid Victor, and he was explaining why he told him to lay in that. I got what he was saying. It's like, dude, there ain't no room for error in this shit. We got to go. Like literally, we were making it by the skin of our teeth as is. So, and I thought Victor was caught, bro. He's like, hey, kid, what are you doing in my boss's car? I was like, oh shit, they're gonna blow Vic's brains out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even in the drug deal, where he was, initially when he was like, okay, when Oz was laying out how like the drug. Like how the FEMA truck would be supplied and how they could, but then when the Falcones showed up and they were like, no, you getting back the truck, and you thought, okay, come on. Like, I mean, they know something's up, and then he gets in the truck, and the truck gets all shut up. Like, man, this guy just has 9 lives.
Yeah, he's like, it's basically, he was like, it's your mission. You take the truck, and I was like, oh, they just fucked him because he was gonna stay way back there so he didn't get murked, man.
and he still made it out.
Yeah. He cutting.
I mean, obviously, we know he would because to your point, we know he's not gonna die. But still, I mean, even if you didn't know what was gonna happen, if you didn't know anything about the Batman 2 movie, you would be watching this thinking, man, how does this guy just keep making it out?
But he is, I mean, you don't get to the place standard in Gotham. The Penguin he's a pretty high individual in the world of crime, and you don't get to that place unless you've had some. So but this show is great. This show is giving us that story, and sort of we're going to get a couple extra things, and I think it's just the comment. I think it's also Matt Reeves probably likes this because it sort of gives everybody something to chew on until he gets done with his the Batman 2.
Nice, I don't want to call it
an appetizer.
I mean, it's to fill. I don't want to call it a filler because we use that term for episodes that are just like filler episodes. But to use that term from a different perspective, it's a nice filler between the 2 films that kind of keeps you engaged in this version of Gotham, keeps you engaged in some of these characters, right? As to what's happening after the Batman, the first one, and then leading you into the second film, which I'll be interested. Kind of like with this one, we knew it's a week after the first film. What's that time gap going to be between this series and the Batman 2? Will it be just as short of a time gap, or is it just going to kind of move right into the film? Because if it does, I would like to see that. Move it like where this show ends, just literally be like the next day, and somehow we're picking it up now from the Batman perspective. Now, the one thing I have heard about people having with this show, and I'll ask you if you feel the same way or not. I don't feel this way because I feel this is definitely a Penguin-centric, obviously it is, story show. But some of the things I've heard people having an issue is that, well, we know this is in the world. We know this is in Gotham. We know Batman exists, obviously. People feel that people have mentioned that they feel like they're either being cheated or it's not that great of a show because you have all this crime happening that we're seeing like in episode 1 and 2. But where's Batman, right? If all this crime is happening, you think Batman would be there. My argument is that, well, if you've watched the first film, if you've watched the first 10 minutes of that film, even the first 5 minutes of that film, the talk over is Robert Pattinson talking about he can't really be everywhere. It's instilling fear into people, so they think he is everywhere. And you see all these crimes happening, and then everyone starts seeing the bat symbol or signal, and they start to get worried. But then again, you see all these crimes happening, and he only shows up at one, which is at that subway drop station or train station where he fights off that gang, right? So my argument is that, well, it's just like any other Batman film show. He's not going to be everywhere at once, so this could be happening. Like these crimes could be happening, and Batman's just not there, like to stop it from happening, right? So, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you 1000%. There's a line that I'll never forget that I thought always sort of sums this up in the Dark Knight. Damn, which one's it? It's the Dark Knight. No. Yeah, it's the Dark Knight. There's a line where the guy looks up and he sees the signal and he's like, "Oh, I'm not with it tonight." And the dude's like, "Dude, you have more of a chance of winning the Powerball than running in the Batman."
Yeah, that was the beginning of the Dark Knight.
And that's a great sort of analogy of that's how yes, Batman's out here, but he can't stop he can't be everywhere, but that's the perfect he said you're more likely to win the Powerball than to run into Batman. And that would be what I would tell any person who's watching the Penguin and is upset that Batman hasn't showed up or Bruce Wayne isn't there or whatever. Is like look how, I mean, the Penguin show looks like it's only going to take place within like a month or so, I think. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as time that has passed, or maybe from that fall looking where it's kind of like fall, it looks like until like, because, you know, the Batman Part 2 is supposed to be like winter time and shit. So maybe we start to see snowfall by the end of the series to feed into it like you want to see it, feed right into it. And another thing Matt Reeves just said, Batman's too big. He's like, we didn't want to put Batman in this show because look, there's contracts that are signed. If they really wanted Robert Pattinson to have a cameo, he could have had one, I think.
Correct.
But I think that Matt Reeves said that Batman, he would not want to take anything away from the Penguin story so that it's fully told without any distraction. So that's why Batman's not here. So I get that. I can feel that to a certain extent.
I mean, don't give me a show called The Penguin and then put Batman in it, and then it feels like, okay, well, this is a Batman show just with the Penguin in it, and you're calling it The Penguin. No, if you're going to call it The Penguin, and Colin Farrell's going to put all this time and effort and work into creating this iteration of the character, then give me that character. And then I'm glad that's what we're seeing thus far, and I'm glad to some level that we don't see Batman. If we do see Batman, maybe it's in that last little few minutes of episode 8, where, to your point, if they do decide to lead into the next film, that's how they do that lead in, where Batman's taking notice of Oz's uprising, right, over these other two families, which I think would be pretty dope. So I think they're doing it right. I think their way to take their sort of going about it is great. Real quick, I do like to shout out my movies. I didn't realize this until just earlier, like right before I got out. Remember the Titan was released 24 years. Man. Yeah, man, dude, I love this movie. It came out 24 years ago yesterday. It said, I don't think it's a football movie. It's a movie about the potential of the human spirit. Denzel, what a great movie. Obviously, great performances all around. It's sort of a classic sports film in my book. Not just a sports film, but I'd seen that and I was like, man, every single time I get the opportunity to watch this movie, I do take the time to sort of, whether I catch it in the middle, at the end, or whatever. It's just a great film. And based on a true story too, man, which is insane to sort of, I remember when this movie first came out on cause they filmed it around me, where my wife went to high school at. They filmed these scenes here. Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, that's her high school. And then there's a very prestigious sort of college that's very close to me where they went to the camp. Remember, they went to football camp and they stayed and it looked like a castle or whatever. Yeah. That's Berry College in Rome, 25, 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, the film's great overall. I mean, I can't imagine if on any level, you don't even, in my opinion, you don't really have to be a football fan to enjoy the movie, right? No. I mean, obviously it's a football movie, but you don't need to be a football or sports person to enjoy it. But I remember I think in that clip that's showing in the bottom corner, there's some of those hits that they show in slow-mo that that's exactly how, whether it was high school, college, or the NFL, that's how they were getting hit in this time period and playing football. And some of those hits are just absolutely brutal. Yeah. Definitely not what you're seeing today anymore. That's for sure.
No, definitely not.
It's still just an overall great movie.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't realize it had hit its, you know how I like to bring up the anniversaries, man. So 24 years of remember the Titans.
That's crazy.
All right, real quick. Let's, where am I at? All right, so this I did want to take a look at this real quick just because I thought it was really cool looking. This movie called Sinners, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Takes
Takes place in the 1930s.
Yes, and I remember I was a little like, wait, what is this they making? Because I don't know. To me, when they first announced the just the story, I was a little bit of okay.
Yeah, they're keeping the details of this story like really tight. I mean, they really haven't released a whole lot on it.
Well, the original like sort of when they first came out, they said Michael B. Jordan going to be starring with Ryan Coogler again. They're going to do this vampire movie like in the 30s or something. I was like, what? Yeah, and I was just, but that's all you got basically.
All you got,
yeah. And so
he's playing two roles. He's playing twin brothers in it as well.
Yeah, this is dope. Yeah. So let's check this out real quick. Take a look at this Sinners trailer, man. I got to watch it when it first came out. I was like, yo, this looks good, man. This looks good. You hear that? All right. Looks like he's trying to roll him a smoke, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Getting that BAR out.
Woo.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will.
Sound like they're from deep Georgia.
Yeah.
With all the things that I've seen. I ain't ever seen no demons. No ghosts. No magic. Till now. To get back inside.
Dude, look at it. There's zombies, man.
Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here. You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
I like that shot.
Yeah. The eeriness of the score for this trailer is insane.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I mean, everyone knows I'm a fan of the genre when it comes to this stuff. I mean, I'm all in. When I saw this trailer, I was all in even before seeing the trailer, just because I kind of knew the premise. But I'm a big fan of the time period. You know, anything between the 1920s through like the 50s. I'm typically all in just because I love the period of time. I'm not saying it was a great period of time. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying.
I get you.
I'm just saying I like seeing some of the things,
especially aesthetically, when you see a movie set back there. It just looks cool as shit. Like, what's the movie Tom Hardy and them? They were selling the liquor. Damn, man, that movie's dope. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Hold on, now I know the movie.
It's sort of same thing. It's a period piece, and it looks really cool, just like the attire that they wear and things of that nature.
That's gonna drive me crazy now.
Yeah, that movie's fucking dope. Yeah,
it has Shia
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. So yo, Sinners, man. If you interested, Lawless. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that movie's dope.
Yeah, that movie is dope.
Yeah. So Sinners, yo, if you hadn't seen it, or I sort of hadn't seen the trailer yet, check it out. If you missed it with us here, it looks good. It looks, for that right there gives me more than when the description that it came out at first. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, okay. I mean, see if I can wrap this. Definitely helps you wrap your mind around sort of what they're trying to do easier than just hearing about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see Michael kind of doing some other things besides. I mean, because lately it was just primarily Creed. Right.
Yeah.
And he has a little time in Marvel, but I'm glad to see this is my opinion, completely different role than he's been playing lately. So
it looks like it is. Quick, we move on, bro. So we got some of The Last of Us, man. They gave us a season 2 teaser the other day. We'll take a look at real quick. I do Neil Druckmann says specific character in The Last of Us HBO season 2 will get plenty of new backstory that fans will eat up. One scene in particular comes to mind that I think fans of the game will eat up because it really kind of tells you a lot of backstory. Important character that there wasn't really a way for us to do that even in the game. Jeffrey, what the fuck is his name? What's his character? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. His character, that's probably what they're talking about, some backstory on a character that sort of they didn't get to give you in the game, just because I could see why. What is his character's name? Isaac. That's what it is. So somebody say, who do you think it'll be? Isaac. I think it's gonna be Isaac. Naughty Dog Cheese No Joke when I'm birthing the Last of Us for TV. So and his character, if you're unfamiliar in the game, is dicey dude. I'd say violent. Kind of don't give a fuck. So I would think that this is what they're talking about here is probably talking about Isaac. A couple other things. I think they got Abby pretty good right here. That looks pretty. The only thing is
pretty close.
Yeah, it does. The only thing is, and look, I got it. The Abby's physique is to her character what Batman's is to his. What Superman's is to his. Any character whose muscles play a part in their, not just the way they look, but in their persona, and hers does. So I hope that the one picture I saw, she looked a little thin, bro. And this is what she's supposed to look like if you're unfamiliar. Like the fact that they made her look like this for a reason, right? It has to do with the story and sort of how she was brought up, and so like seeing this, hopefully they keep it to this, but we'll see when the actual show comes out. Maybe it doesn't make a difference at all. Maybe they change up a few things, but I do know that the pictures I've seen of the actress, somebody said that's the only thing they liked about her was her big arms. Relax, bro.
Yeah.
But I think hopefully hopefully she puts some work in, because again, like I said, man, for me, I feel like the character is going to be a stretch to pull off in live action without the sort of the daunting muscular physique that she had. That was kind of scary on some levels when you're seeing her in the game, and you see her like this, and it's kind of sort of look like she can handle her own. So the one picture I saw, there was a poster that I can't find it yet, but she didn't look too big in the arms, and that's why somebody put this out, and they were like, "You rest in peace to Abby's muscles." So we'll see what happens when the final product comes out. Maybe they're just fooling with us for now. But let's take a look at this, man. The Last of Us season 2.
This trailer was something else.
Yeah, caught me by surprise. I knew to expect something for The Last of Us Day last week, but I didn't know if they were going to give us something like this. And they're trying to push episodes out fast to try to make it by for Emmy consideration next year. Correct. So they were saying something about they might split the season in half and have some episodes come out before and then do that. I'm like, come on, man.
I'm never a fan of that. Never a fan of like a part 1, part 2 of a season.
Well,
no.
Here's past season, and it didn't make sense because they'd only had 8 episodes. What are we doing? So if this one might not have but 8 episodes in this second season, why would you split it in half? Don't do that.
Where that makes sense is if you have 16 plus episodes.
Yes.
You have 16, 8, and 8. If you're gonna do like 24, 12, and 12.
Yeah.
Like what they used to do back in the day. But if you're gonna keep shows now to 8, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, don't give me a break, man. Don't give me a midseason, because it's almost as if like I don't want them to premiere the second season to start it off even if it's not like finished filming and they've gotten everything done with it and they're not still working on it, because I don't want to see something, you watch half the season and something changes or whatever the case may be. They need to be done with season 2 before they put it out there. But
absolutely, yeah.
Let's check it out. Get it?
Yep.
You want to start or what?
We're talking about some actors and actresses who are out there right now.
Yeah, Pedro made the work.
Yeah. She is too. She just did Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Bro.
Man, that's the music and the score is just insane.
You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud. I'm not bound by my say the thing you're afraid to say.
That's going to be a scary one.
Yeah.
Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad. What did you do?
Shit. Those dudes. Yep. Ready for that. That's
pretty good trailer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're all in for it.
It's a really good trailer.
If you're familiar with with that story, we're all in for it, man. I can't wait. Obviously, it's about like right up there with video game franchises for me. And the first season was pretty well done, man. I appreciated the care. I mean, obviously Neil Druckmann was part of it, so that's it. You know, The Last of Us is his baby, so I was expecting it to be good, but it was really, really good. And all the liberties they took when it came to making decisions with stuff that wasn't in the game was great. So I'm sure we're gonna get more of that in the second one. Man, that is I can't wait to get a date as far as when they're gonna start dropping episodes for season 2, man. It looks pretty good, pretty good. Like you said, great song choice. They didn't show us much for the people who hadn't played the games. I think this was a nice little tease.
Yeah.
They for us who've played it, they tease some scenes that even though there's zero clickers in the scenes, they're going to be impactfully emotional.
Yeah.
Just because we know exactly the weight that those scenes hold in the game. So yeah, no, can't wait. The Last of Us season 2. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say it's definitely one of those shows or takes where a game I think has been. I mean, we've seen many times where video games companies try to take video games, turn them into a series or a movie, and it's, 9 times out of 10 it's not successful.
No,
right? I think this has been done as well as it can be thus far. I mean, especially for fans of the game. So I'm glad to see that they've definitely taken the time to they've put in the time to make it as good as they can and true to the game. Right. I mean, outside like the things we were talking about earlier, like we look at the characters, the aesthetic of the character in the game versus what in real life, right? So that could be. I mean, but to your point, we don't know. We may get to the final result and they're like, oh man, she put some work in, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We may see that, but I think thus far it's been one of those few adaptations where it feels like it's been done right and true to the game. So
I feel the way as well. I'm a little I just hope the one thing I am, and I don't know why I'm a little bit nervous about that, but the way that you're introduced to the Abby character in the game, it gives there's a visceral effect, right? And I don't want them to shy away from that in the show for some reason. Because it's sort of like the people who never played the game that are going to watch this, that have watched the first season, are going to watch this one. They're sort of joining you on this journey that you've been on for a long time because we played the game, right? And I want them to get the same ebb and flow that I did, right? And so, I don't want to spoil it, but everybody already knows what it is. But I'm not going to say here. We'll wait till the show comes out. What Abby does to make you hate her, they need to make sure that you hate her in the show so that you.
Yes.
I'll give you this one. In the game, they make you do something so diabolical as Abby. And then, or Abby does something very diabolical, and 2 seconds later, they say, okay, now play as Abby for the next couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember not wanting to play. I literally shut that shit down for a good little bit. I was like, because I was so mad about that. Because, again, I'm one of the ones who didn't get it spoiled for me. Remember when the news I didn't get it spoiled for me. So when I finally played The Last of Us Part 2, I was thoroughly shocked at that scene. So, but they did. They had you do this thing. And then immediately we're like, hey, play as her for the next, few missions. And it's like, dude, I don't want to. Fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so but hey, look, the show looks like they're gonna take care of business, and looking forward to it. Hopefully we get a date soon. And real quick, before we bounce out, I know you got something else on The Last of Us?
No. I'm good.
I'm
good. I'm good.
All right, man. We are almost, Rings of Power almost done, man.
This week's the last episode.
I can't pronounce the dude. I can never pronounce it, man. The Celebrimbor's spot that they're attacking in this episode that just came out last week, the latest one. The 9 rings are complete. Galadriel has bounced with the rings, right? What's his name was like, yo, take these and run.
Yep.
The dwarves aren't coming, bro.
Dwarves didn't come.
Dude, he just kept saying, man. Kept saying he'll be here. They'll be here, and I was like, no, they're not, dude. Because you saw the scene where they were literally like, we need to go take it. Your pops is down there chopping up the cave. Like we need to go down here and take care of this business. We can't take the army over here. We need to keep it. So,
yep.
Dude, the show was really fucking good. And this episode, this last one was high quality. VFX looked great. Like it was just a good old fucking episode. And I was like, damn, dude, we got one left, man.
All right, my friend. I think this is where you and I are gonna part ways.
Oh. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't disagree to a degree with what you're saying. Now, when we spoke last and when we were going over episode 6, episode 6 had ended and set up what we thought was going to be this some level of an epic battle. I mean, the money they're throwing at this show, whether it the visual effects, the sound, whatever they're throwing a lot of money at this show.
Okay? Yeah.
So episode 6, it was setting up. Okay, we're going to see this battle, and if we look at, and the only thing we have to compare when we think about this universe is the movies, the 3 Hobbit movies and the 3 Lord of the Ring movies. So when you think about like the Battle of Helm's Deep and Two Towers, right? Very simple. And I'm picking that battle as my example because has a very similar premise to this, what we were thinking this battle was going to be, right? You have this invading army coming to this spot where you have the other side where their back's kind of up against the wall, so to speak. Yeah. So in Helm's Deep, we visually saw that. It's like they were outnumbered, they were pretty much trapped, and they had to continue to fall back until Gandalf showed up and saved the day, right? Now with this one, this is my problem with this episode. It felt like the battle was disjointed. It felt like they wanted me to believe it was going to be somewhat of a Battle of Helm's Deep type battle, right? You have the orcs attacking, you have we really didn't see, I mean, if this is like one of the main cities for the elves, like one of the premier big cities, I mean, they didn't really show the level of their army or their like, right? We saw maybe like 10 people. I mean,
I will say that. Yeah, it looked like did they what's the word I'm looking for? Did they get everybody out of there? Did they because it did seem like, especially when Celebrimbor was like, when he came out there with the rings and he was watching shit, and it did look like there was nobody hardly inside of inside of the city, as if, like I just said, they evacuated a lot of the people because they knew they wouldn't be able to handle what was coming at them or something.
Yeah. So we didn't really see. So, and this goes on both sides. We really didn't see the size of the army on either side. So there was that, and it felt like the battle kept kind of jumping from outside the city to now we're in the woods, now we're here, and it almost felt like it just felt very disjointed comparing it to the battles we've seen in the other like feature films. Last thing I'll mention on this that kind of just ruined it for me for this battle was right at the beginning, you have this major river dividing the two. So we're gonna say, okay, let's we're gonna take down the side of this mountain, block the river, and then somehow magically within seconds this river water just is gone, and now this riverbed is just we can easily march across. We can bring our equipment across. I mean, it would have taken weeks if not months for that riverbed to be even usable. I mean, that
Drew,
could be me nitpicking. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand it's a TV show. I understand this is Lord of the Rings. I get it.
Yeah.
But those are the types of things, attention to detail, that you would have you saw that were taken into account in the films. That I felt like for an episode 7, we're coming to the end of this season. You kind of set it up for this battle to take place, and it felt like it just didn't live up to a Lord of the Rings type battle.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I don't think I guess I probably wasn't expecting it to get, because Lord of the Rings, those movies did such a great job at the way they chose to show time passing by.
Yeah.
Because and they used to do it in the movies. You just see a bunch of motherfucking orcs running across a field for 7 days, or where how they used to do it, but sort of it made sense that like when you would see people travel, that when they would get somewhere, it seemed like it took a long time just because of the way that Peter Jackson filmed that shit, And it's missing that here just a bit, because I think it would have helped better if the dwarf stuff had to be in there. You had to see him say, we can't take the army to help. We had to see that. But the other, and I guess I get it when they were in there, and you wanted to see Sauron sort of Celebrimbor realizing that Sauron had him. To a certain extent, but that I feel like that shit should have happened like at the beginning, or sort of what we've gotten used to is when people do battles now, think of Battle of the Bastards and things of that nature, you get full on battle for an hour. Like you literally get it, and you'll see some cutscenes, but everything will have to do with said battle, because that's what we've become accustomed. So they kind of jumped around a bit on this one. So I feel you on that. And they knocked down the side of that thing, and I was like, a week had to pass before, at least a week before that thing dried up like that. Holy shit, yeah,
exactly.
But,
I'm still bought in. I'm still bought in to see how this wraps up. Right, we're 1 episode left. It comes out this week, so it'll be interesting to see, because we already know there's going to be another season. There's going to be several more seasons, so it's going to be interesting to see how they wrap this one up. Because at some point, we got to start getting into some of the actions and consequences of the films.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm kind of, I will say this though, the outlook for this final episode, that's a lot to wrap up.
It is a lot to wrap up.
It's like an hour. It ain't that long. And then Adar had a ring at the end, so you got to address that shit. Yep. He took what's his name's ring. Man. I was when he came back into that his little fucking his spot, and realized Galadriel was gone. Bro, why did she leave that little tool, man?
Yeah.
I was like, why did she leave that? Now it's like, for some reason, I thought that was going to come back to haunt her at some point, because she left it there. But I always have trouble with Galadriel. But Adar, he has a ring now. So what is going to pop off? And I don't feel, unless I look on that thing and it says next episode is 1 hour and 45 minutes, there's no way that they wrap. It's going to end on a cliffhanger that's probably going to be like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
Because
it might feel like, why couldn't they have just done 10 episodes?
Yes. That's probably what we're going to be sitting there. Guarantee you Monday's show, when we're talking about this final episode, we're both going to say, what the hell, man?
Yep.
Literally should have just done 10 episodes, and you might have had a cleaner finish, because guess what? We probably ain't get another season for 2 fucking years, because it's just they're
gonna house of the Dragon us. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna give us this major cliffhanger they're gonna give us an episode with something we're expecting, without the substance we're looking for. We're gonna wish there was at least 1 or 2 more episodes, and then it's gonna be 2 more years before we get another season.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
And it's gonna be with House of the Dragon. We could come to expect some of those things, because they don't have money. HBO and those stuff. But when it comes to Amazon, they got plenty.
Oh, they better not. Remember, I think it was a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago, we had pulled up that poster for this animated thing that they were doing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They better not try to address anything that happens or doesn't happen in this animated as a this will help keep you guys, fed. So to
unless
speak,
that shit's coming on Amazon, if it's going in theaters, you don't do that to it. You know what I'm saying? Because that means we have to pay extra money to go out and see this thing. Yes. So don't do that. Yeah. The only time I think I was for that was, I think after like the 3rd or 4th season of Game of Thrones, I had seen it mentioned where they might finish the series as a movie, and I was like, that'd be dope. That'd be be worth it, man. You watch this, but they didn't end up doing that. But don't give me Because it ain't the same. The X-Files did it way back. The X-Files did it way back, and that shit kind of worked to their advantage to a certain extent because that was at like the height of the popularity.
Yeah.
Remember, they sort of in between 2 seasons, they had a movie come out in theaters. Movie's pretty good too. Shit, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Damn, X-Files was dope. Could have finished stronger, but you know.
Yeah, so we'll see. We got one more episode. We'll see how this plays out.
But yes,
I'm gonna know when we start Monday's show. Just the look on your face if it's like,
well, you might get that. Yeah. Well, you know what? Normally though, I do normally wait to watch Rings of Power till when I'm at work on Sunday night is when I normally would watch the episode so I can. It'll be.
So you're coming in fresh. You're coming in fresh.
Yeah. I'll come in fresh. Yeah, unless because it comes out Thursday, right?
It's out Thursdays. Yeah.
If Thursday night at work I have time to sort of catch it, I probably will. But most of the time I like to wait to have it really, really fresh on so when we're getting ready to talk about it. But that's the show, y'all.
Yeah. So real quick, just 2 shout outs. Not shout outs. I mean, just two things to bring up. We normally would do when things like this happen. So I mean, as everyone knows, I think it was a couple weeks ago, James Earl Jones had passed away.
Yes. Yep.
So if anyone who doesn't know had not seen, we saw John Ashton passed away yesterday.
Yes. Yep.
Many people know him for Beverly Hills Cop.
Got to make one last film, dude. Got to make one last, but that's so dope. Like when I seen it, I was like, oh no, and I was like, man, he got to get.
That was the very first thing that came to my mind too. Like, yes, at least he got to be in that final film, franchise because he was such a pivotal character.
Yes,
and especially the first 2 films. And then we also saw, was it Chris Christopherson? He
Whistler,
passed
man.
away.
Whistler, man. Chris Christopherson, man. That's old school
I think
was out there.
Ashton was I think he was in his mid 70s, and Chris was I think mid late 80s. So I mean, both
Chris
definitely had
there,
so full lives. Definitely brought some, the talents to the big screen. So
I appreciate you bringing that up, man. I had forgot to add some stuff in there for it. But
no worries. I mean,
I
know they had just. I mean, it just had happen. I think within the last day or so.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So shouts out, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That both of them passed sort of like that, and that literally about a month or 2 right after the last Beverly Hills Cop film comes out. He the actor passed. Got to play him one last time. So that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool to see. So real quick, just want to tell everybody out there, shouts out to Andre Nicotina, because he I don't know how he found these guys or if they found him, but the IE Sports Network hollered at me a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't obviously, I've had some stuff going on, wasn't really able to get back to him. And last week I was able to have a couple conversations with him. So they've invited me to do some sports, man. So if anybody's interested, I'll be talking Georgia sports, like from baseball to basketball to football for an hour every Wednesday. I got this thing right here and pull this up. It's going to be on IE Sports Radio, Georgia Sports Central with ACS. That's going to be the name of the show that I'm going to be hosting starting on this Wednesday in 2 days. So if you want to hear it, to tune in, check me out, see how they were really excited to have me. So I feel like I talked to Andre and told him appreciate it for sort of putting my name out there when they were asking if there was some other spots that if he knew anybody else that was sort of interested in sports and liked to get on here and didn't have a fear of getting in front of a camera and things of that nature. So man, looking forward to this new opportunity, and we'll be back on Friday, man. We'll if I do watch it, we won't do spoilers for Rings on Friday, but you'll be able to tell how we feel just by
it's just the first 10 seconds. We're gonna know how you're feeling.
For real. So shouts out, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Hope everybody has a good week, and man. Oh, okay. Had to find what I was looking for. All right, see y'all later, man. Peace out.